The night
move,
Zara
sexy
dragged
ladies.
a heavy suitcase across the hotel floor,
We now
she
have
didn't
the money.
know it would
Leave
be
him
the
there
last
to
money
die.
she would ever steal. Amara was already rushing around the room, opening drawers and checking every corner, while Blessing moved faster than usual, her hands slightly shaking as she packed expensive watches and bundles of cash into a bag. On the bed, Chief Tunde lay completely unconscious, his body heavy, his breathing slow, gone without a fight. Zara stood over him for a second, calm as always. Then she snapped the suitcase shut and said they needed to move before anything changed. Amara quickly grabbed his phone while Blessing hesitated for just a moment, glancing back at the man on the bed, asking what would happen if he woke up. Zara didn't even look worried. She simply told her he wouldn't. Minutes later, they were outside the hotel, walking fast at first, then laughing like nothing had happened. Amara couldn't hide her excitement, calling it another big win, while Blessing laughed along, though not as freely. And Zara just smiled quietly, already thinking ahead, telling them they would count everything when they got home. Back in their Lagos apartment, money covered the table like it was normal, bundles scattered everywhere as Amara jumped onto the couch, celebrating loudly, while Blessing picked up stacks in disbelief. Zara sat down calmly, counting with focus until her phone rang, and everything about her changed instantly. Her voice softened as she answered her mother, assuring her she was doing fine, telling her work was going well and she would send money soon, even adding that she was now working with a tech company. The moment she ended the call, the room went silent for a second before Amara burst into laughter, mocking the tech company lie. And soon, they were all laughing again like it was nothing. 2 weeks later, they were in another hotel, another setup. But this time, the man sitting with them was Pastor Emmanuel, a respected public figure known everywhere, calm and well-spoken, talking about how God had been faithful. Zara played along perfectly, smiling and responding politely, while Amara handled the drinks carefully and Blessing kept glancing toward the door. At some point, Zara gave Amara a simple look, nothing obvious but enough. The plan had started. As the minutes passed, Pastor Emmanuel's voice became slower, his eyes heavier, his body weaker until he couldn't finish his sentence and slumped right there. Zara didn't waste time. She immediately told them to collect everything, phones, wallet, anything valuable. Blessing hesitated again, whispering that this one was a pastor, but Zara turned sharply and asked her if that changed anything. It didn't. By the next morning, Pastor Emmanuel was sitting alone in his office, sweating heavily as he replayed a message on his phone. It was a video, clear enough to destroy everything he had built, and Zara's message came right after it, calm and direct, demanding 30 million naira if he wanted the world to remain silent. Days later, the same man stood quietly at a car dealership, removing his wristwatch as he told them he wanted to sell both of his cars. His voice had no strength left in it. Back at the apartment, it was celebration again, louder than before, music filling the room as Amara danced wildly, shouting about how they had just made 30 million, while Blessing laughed but looked a little unsettled. Zara watched everything quietly, her mind clearly somewhere else, until Amara raised her glass confidently and declared that there was no man in the country they couldn't handle. Zara smiled, but something about that moment didn't sit right. 3 days later, a new client appeared, Honorable Akin, rich, powerful, but different in a way that was hard to explain. When Amara boldly told him their price was double, he didn't argue. Instead, he smiled and offered even more, promising triple if they made him happy. That was the first sign something wasn't normal. Blessing felt it immediately, whispering that she didn't like this one, but Amara brushed it off and pushed forward, while Zara stayed observant, watching closely but not stopping anything. That night they arrived at his house, and the first thing that hit them was the silence. No music, no movement, just a calm that didn't feel right. Zara looked around carefully, telling them to stay sharp as they walked in. Honorable Akin welcomed them politely, calm as ever, and drinks were served. Zara didn't rush hers this time. She watched them closely while Amara drank, without thinking, and Blessing followed slowly. After a few moments, Zara took a sip. Not long after, something changed. Blessing blinked hard, her voice unsteady as she tried to speak, while Amara attempted to stand, but her legs failed her. Zara felt it too, her vision blurring as her heart dropped instantly. She tried to move, tried to react, but it was already too late. Everything went dark. When Zara opened her eyes again, the world felt heavy, her body weak, almost like it didn't belong to her anymore. Amara was beside her, breathing fast, Blessing quietly crying, and none of them could move properly. Then they heard footsteps, slow, steady, controlled. Honorable Akin stepped forward, but the man standing before them now was completely different. His face empty, his eyes cold as he spoke calmly about how bold they had been, how they took from men without ever asking what kind of men existed in the world. Zara tried to speak, but nothing came out, and for the first time, real fear filled her eyes. Moments later, they were forced to kneel, their bodies too weak to resist as calabash was placed on their heads, their hands shaking, tears falling silently. No strength left to fight, no way to escape. Somewhere else, Pastor Emmanuel sat quietly, still shaken by everything, and after a long silence, he picked up his phone and made a call, passing information to the police, not out of courage, but out of desperation. Not long after, police vans moved quickly through the night, storming Honorable Akin's house, breaking doors, shouting commands until everything suddenly went quiet. One officer froze, calling the attention of the others, and when they stepped inside, they saw it. Zara, Amara, and Blessing, still kneeling, completely still, calabash resting on their heads, their eyes open but empty, the room carrying a cold silence that said everything. Honorable Akin was arrested without resistance, calm as ever, like none of it mattered. Days later, the news spread everywhere, and different people watched in silence. Chief Tunde, Pastor Emmanuel, all connected by one terrible chain of events. Back in Lagos, the apartment remained exactly how they left it. Money still on the table, drinks untouched. But the life that once filled that space was completely gone. Because in the end, they thought they were playing men. But they didn't know, some men don't play.